Friends, get ready, because the world has been spinning with incredible speed, and many events have unfolded that require our thorough analysis. In this video, we will explore one such occurrence, a shift so drastic, it has left many observers stunned. But before we plunge into it, let's make a deal. Show your support for our channel by hitting that like button and subscribing. This small action is invaluable for the channel's progress. Also, share with us in the comments where you're watching us from. Let's see the global reach of our community. Serbia presents a truly singular case in European military affairs. Picture, if you will, a fighting force incorporating weaponry sourced from China, America, Russia, France, and Israel. A very unusual and eclectic mix. Wouldn't you agree? Up until 2022, the Serbian army primarily employed Soviet-era Russian and Chinese equipment. But the conflict in Ukraine altered the situation for Serbia dramatically. Serbia swiftly initiated a move to phase out Russian arms from its arsenal. While declining to participate in any sanctions aimed at Putin, Serbia nonetheless did not hesitate to provide armaments to Ukraine. Belgrade was also abandoning significant contracts with Moscow and gravitating towards Beijing. Even though the Serbs had been heavily influenced by Soviet military doctrine for years, they readily embraced the idea of European unity. The Serbs were clearly distancing themselves from their Russian friendship, conveying the message that enough is enough and that Russia should back down. So how did Serbia manage to support Ukraine while simultaneously disregarding Russia? What actions has the Belgrade administration taken in favor of Kyiv? Which pacts with Russia did the Serbs terminate and instead turn towards China? We will together scrutinize these critical questions, but before we embark, I must remind you to subscribe to our channel, activate notifications, and give us a like. This keeps you fully updated on our newest content. And remember, stick around until the end, because we will be drawing some essential conclusions. Serbia stood as one of a handful of European states with a robust friendship with Russia. On the surface, Serbia adopted a neutral stance concerning the war in Eastern Europe, but as the crisis escalated, Serbia began channeling military assistance to Ukraine by way of third-party nations. Not even the most vocal Russian military bloggers criticized Serbian President Alexander Vučić, who once again exhibited a rare skill for maintaining good standing with the Kremlin. This was indeed an accomplishment, as Serbia managed to provide Ukraine with substantial military aid worth approximately $800 million. This was carried out via these third nations, yet the Kremlin largely ignored the matter. Putin chose to ignore his Serbian friends' occasional backtracking, convinced that the ties with Belgrade were crucial for maintaining a perception of Russian influence in the Balkans. Furthermore, Belgrade's move to distance itself from Moscow and its transition to Chinese, Israeli, and European industries, even going as far as to provide critical support to Ukraine, struck a powerful blow to Putin. Let's now delve into the armament shipments Serbia sent to Ukraine, all in full view of Russia. These weapons transfers of Serbia, which have become Russia's worst nightmare, particularly those destined for Ukraine, were possibly not foreseen by Vladimir Putin at the onset. Indeed, these arms shipments from Serbia were commercially motivated, going indirectly through NATO countries. However, in terms of overall value, Serbia has offered greater assistance to Ukraine compared to any of the three Baltic nations or even more outspoken supporters of Kyiv, such as Spain or Croatia. Serbian shells were directly undercutting Russian attempts to deplete Ukraine's stockpiles, not to mention the elimination of Russian soldiers. Vučić himself verified the magnitude of the supplies, plainly stating that the identity of the end user was irrelevant to him. Even after this revelation, Russia remained silent. When questioned, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov mentioned the intention to discuss the matter with his Serbian counterparts. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova did not mention the matter in any of her frequent speeches against Russia's real or fictitious foes. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushko has remained quiet, at least in public, concerning Serbia's weapon shipments to Ukraine. The Russian embassy in Belgrade has even gone to substantial lengths to refute media speculation that there were any discussions during Grushko's meeting with Serbian officials. Serbia's weapon shipments to Ukraine have been an open secret since at least early 2023, when the initial leaks were published. Moscow subsequently pledged to investigate, but up to the present day, the Putin administration continues to praise Vučić as a close friend. and steadfast ally. According to specialists, the Serbian leader, originating from the murky world of post-communist politics, was very much aware that Russian policies are shaped not by abstract national interests, but by the personal objectives of dignitaries. Vučić was therefore acting in Serbia's best interests rather than attempting to curry favor with Russia. Serbia's continuous support for Ukraine in international organizations, the delivery of ammunition, and the generally positive face-to-face interactions between Vladimir Zelensky and Aleksandar Vučić were gradually eroding the bond between Belgrade and Moscow. In fact, Serbia made a remarkable move against Russia in order to finally break free of this bond, which was suspending some of its military agreements with Russia and placing other ones on indefinite hold. Though Serbia once took pride in maintaining a strong military partnership with Moscow, the shifting global landscape and increasing strain from Western sanctions on Russia have left Belgrade with increasingly limited possibilities. Despite Russia's increasing global isolation, Serbia had previously managed to keep its weapons supply lines open through licensed production in third-party nations, ensuring sustained access to Russian-made weaponry. This strategic approach allowed the Serbian military to maintain a significant stock of Russian weapons in operational condition and rely on local talent for part production and maintenance. But now, the Serbs have completely turned their back on Russia concerning arms deals. This decision, revealed in an interview by General Milan Mojsilović, Serbia's chief of the general staff, signaled a dramatic change in the country's military strategy. With this decision, Serbia hoped that global diplomatic relations would eventually normalize, clearing the way for these agreements to be reinstated. In August of last year, Serbia decided to cancel its purchase of a new batch of Russian fighter jets, which had been under consideration since 2021. Instead of Russian aircraft, Belgrade acquired 12 French Rafale jets for 2.7 billion euros to replace the outdated Russian MiG-29 fleet. As Mojsilović acknowledged, this deal marked the beginning of a comprehensive overhaul of the Serbian Air Force, which would entail retraining of pilots, reorganization of military infrastructure, and other intricate preparations. Mojsilović stated that the decision to go with French fighter jets was made because they would provide the Air Force with the necessary capabilities in the long run. War analysts highlighted that Serbia's decision to purchase 12 new French Rafale fighter jets represented a major evolution of Serbia's strategic position amid the conflict between the West and Russia. On the other hand, Serbia has gravitated towards other nations instead of relying on Russian arms and military resources. Serbia has already favored alternative suppliers, most notably China, to fill the void left by Russian military hardware. In a clear indicator of this shift, Serbia revealed its purchase of the Chinese-made Fk3 air defense system, which will supersede Russia's S-400 air defense systems. This step was not simply a reflection of Serbia's evolving defense requirements, but also a broader realignment of military priorities, as the country attempts to diversify its defense suppliers in an increasingly hostile geopolitical environment. As part of a new generation of air defense systems, the Fk3 has brought numerous improvements to Serbia's military arsenal. Designed for versatility, this integrated system includes mobile command and logistics vehicles, missile launchers, and advanced radar systems, giving the Serbian army comprehensive multi-layered protection against a wide array of aerial threats. Whether countering high-speed cruise missiles or enemy aircraft, the Fk3's ability to perform in complex and rapidly changing environments provides Serbia with a substantial edge in protecting its airspace. One of the key strengths of the Fk3 system is its resilience to electronic warfare, a growing concern for modern air defense systems. With state-of-the-art countermeasures to prevent jamming and disruption, the Fk3 ensures that the Serbian military can maintain its operational integrity, even in contested electronic environments. The system is also equipped to neutralize incoming missiles aimed at radar tracking stations, making it an efficient tool against precision-guided munitions designed to disable critical air defense infrastructure. In terms of strategic impact, the Fk3 is more than just a technological upgrade. It is a message to both adversaries and allies that Serbia is serious about modernizing its defense capabilities. The deployment of such an advanced system will enhance the country's deterrence abilities, enabling it to better defend against external threats from near and far. As the region grapples with shifting alliances and military positions, Serbia's Fk3 deployment sends a clear message that the country is no longer relying solely on its historic military alliances, but is actively diversifying its defense solutions and preparing for the challenges of the future. With a troubled past, Serbia has been working tirelessly to modernize its armed forces amidst rising tensions with its neighbors. As part of its modernization drive, Serbia has been pursuing military agreements with Israel as well as China. Belgrade signed a $335 million deal with Israeli defense giant Elbit Systems to acquire the state-of-the-art PULS artillery rocket system and Hermes 900 male reconnaissance drones. These striking moves signaled Serbia's complete abandonment of Russia for arms and military resources. Serbia's latest deal with Israel, on the other hand, made the situation even clearer. So what exactly were these systems that Serbia bought from Israel? Let's start with Elbit Pulse. Elbit Pulse is an advanced modular, multi-caliber rocket artillery system with different rocket calibers, enabling the operator to select varying munitions depending on the mission requirements. PULS can launch 122mm rockets with a range of 40 kilometers, 160mm rockets with a range of 45 kilometers, 306mm rockets with a range of 150 kilometers, and heavy rockets and missiles such as Extra and Predator Hawk with a range of nearly 300 kilometers. This vastly increases the versatility of the platform. Importantly, PULS is platform independent and has a modular architecture. This essentially means that it can be integrated into different wheeled or tracked chassis of various sizes, including 4x4, 6x6, and 8x8. The PULS artillery system can operate independently or be integrated into pre-existing command and control networks. Furthermore, this state-of-the-art artillery system can receive targeting information directly from forward observers, radar, or UAVs. PULS's versatility and precision targeting capabilities make it highly suitable for modern battlefield environments where adaptability, speed, and accuracy are critical. The acquisition underscores Serbia's dedication to reinforcing its defense capabilities in the face of potential moves against Russia, rising regional tensions, and geopolitical rivalry with Croatia. Serbian leader Aleksandar Vučić seemed to be trying to position PULS as a direct countermeasure against Croatia's expanding military capabilities, in effect, emphasizing the advanced capabilities of Israeli systems. The two neighbors have been in conflict with each other since Serbian troops intervened in Croatia during the Balkan War in the 1990s, a land grab that resulted in Belgrade's defeat and the expulsion of tens of thousands of ethnic Serbs residing there. While the two states do not directly engage in conflict with each other, they remain locked in a tense rivalry that has prompted the purchase of sophisticated weaponry on both sides. Experts believe that Serbia is also expanding its arms deal with Israel to counter possible Russian invasion moves. In particular, the Serbian wing is pursuing important defense plans against Russia's threats to corner Europe with nuclear weapons and drone strikes. In addition to PULS, Serbia has also purchased Hermes 900 male reconnaissance drones for this purpose. The Hermes 900 is a medium-altitude, long-endurance UAV with an endurance of about 36 hours and a range of about 1,000 kilometers, with a payload capacity of 300 kilograms. This UAV offers its operator state-of-the-art intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities. With the help of this UAV, Serbia will be better positioned to track evolving threats in the region. This purchase is a testament to the relationship between Serbia and Israel, which goes back several years. At the height of the Balkan Wars in the 1990s, Israel was arming Bosnian Serbs. The defense relationship between the two countries has strengthened recently, as seen when Serbia facilitated arms transfers to Israel to strengthen its fight against its rivals in the West Asian region. Yugo Import SDPR, Serbia's main state arms dealer, shipped at least $24 million worth of weapons to Israel in 17 shipments, utilizing both Israeli military and civilian aircraft. The Hermes UAVs Serbia has now acquired will be an important component in scenarios where Russia violates European airspace. All these deals and military procurements from different countries have undermined Serbia's ties with Russia, while providing the Belgrade regime with important allies. Currently, relations between Serbia and Russia have been shaky, particularly in recent years. Belgrade must have come to the realization that these relations have not benefited them much. Economic ties between Serbia and Russia, once the cornerstone of a strategic partnership, are also undergoing a significant transformation. According to a recent report by the Russian Council on International Relations, Russia's economic influence in the Western Balkans is coming under increased pressure due to Western sanctions targeting key sectors such as energy, metallurgy, and the arms trade. So how did the relationship between the two come to this? Although the EU is Serbia's primary economic partner, Russia has long played a key role in the Serbian economy. In 2022, bilateral trade between the two countries reached an all-time high of $4.28 billion. However, the tide turned in 2023 as sanctions took effect, and the momentum of Serbia's imports from Russia was sharply curtailed. The rise in energy costs, coupled with restrictions on Russian products, forced Serbia to turn to alternative sources for military and energy needs, demonstrating the fragility of Russia's economic power in the region. On the energy front, Serbia continues to seek a delicate balance. Deputy Prime Minister Aleksandar Vulin reiterated the country's desire to increase gas imports from Russia, stating that Serbia is actively negotiating with Gazprom to extend the current gas supply contract. Of course, it is currently difficult for Serbia to completely abandon some Russian supply lines. The Belgrade regime's focus has been on securing gas volumes similar to the current arrangement, which is a critical part of Serbia's energy security strategy. Despite these negotiations, the facts on the ground told a different story. In April of 2024, Serbia experienced a sharp drop in gas imports from Russia. This was a stark reminder of the changing dynamics. The Serbian government has yet to address how it will manage this energy deficit, leaving questions about the sustainability of its current energy strategy. While Serbia has long maintained a policy of neutrality and balance between East and West, this new stance marks a clear departure from the country's previous strategy. By supplying ammunition to Ukraine, Serbia is walking a fine line between its historic ties with Russia and its desire to maintain stable relations with the West. The move has generated considerable controversy, with some accusing Serbia of undermining its traditional position of neutrality in the conflict. This development adds another layer of complexity to Serbia's foreign policy, which has become increasingly unpredictable due to the ongoing war in Ukraine. While Serbia's military and diplomatic maneuvers are clearly designed to protect its national interests, they also reflect broader geopolitical shifts taking place in the Balkans. With Russia's influence waning and Western sanctions tightening, Serbia's future alignment remains uncertain. Belgrade's decisions in the coming months will be crucial in determining whether Serbia can continue to maintain the delicate balance between East and West, or will be forced to choose sides in an increasingly polarized world. As Serbia seeks to preserve its strategic autonomy, it faces a formidable challenge that will shape the future of the region for years to come. But if the West further isolates Russia over time, Belgrade is likely to drift further away from the Moscow regime. Relations between the two countries are expected to cool further as international backlash grows. Just as Serbia has abandoned Russia in terms of military resources and arms deals, there is no reason why it cannot find new partners in the energy sector. The Belgrade regime is aware of this situation and will probably not hesitate to utilize this option when the time comes. This is evidenced by Serbia's current orientation away from Russia. We've navigated through a lot of complex information, and it's time to tie it all together. Before we do that, let's make a deal. Show your support for our channel by hitting that like button and subscribing. This small action is invaluable for the channel's progress. Also, share with us in the comments where you're watching us from. Let's see the global reach of our community. Now let's get into these final conclusions. The Serbian military is undoubtedly undergoing a radical makeover, driven by geopolitical realities. We can see that the nation's leadership is strategically shifting away from traditional alliances and forging new partnerships with diverse global actors. The nation's decision to favor European, Chinese, and Israeli military technologies showcases a clear move towards modernity and a desire to reduce dependence on any single nation's arsenal, especially Russia. There's been a consistent pattern of change across many sectors, with weapons acquisitions and changes in trade and energy partnerships. This demonstrates Belgrade's determination to enhance its military capabilities and secure its strategic position amidst a volatile and unpredictable international environment. The acquisition of sophisticated weapons such as the French Rafale fighter jets, the Chinese FK-3 air defense system, and the Israeli Pulse rocket artillery system and Hermes 900 UAV, shows a commitment to not only modernizing military equipment, but also integrating multi-layered defense strategies that can counter diverse threats. In the political and economic arena, the Serbian government is skillfully managing its relations with Russia, maintaining a sense of pragmatic balance while diversifying its economic partnerships and energy sources. The government is obviously navigating this tricky landscape with the clear intention of safeguarding national interest, even in the face of global sanctions and political pressure. The fact that Serbia provided Ukraine with military assistance while simultaneously distancing itself from Russia is proof that Belgrade is unafraid to deviate from its traditional alliances, indicating the nation's priority on preserving its sovereignty and its ability to independently align itself with the shifting global political landscape. By breaking free from its dependence on Russian military resources and creating new alliances with Israel, China, and Western countries, Serbia has demonstrated its commitment to adapting its foreign policy and defense strategy. The nation's strategic balancing act between Russia and the West is an important example of the challenges facing other nations located in similar geopolitical hot zones. This is an area where long-standing relations and alliances are being pushed to their limits. With each move Serbia takes, there are ever-increasing questions on the future of alliances, particularly in the face of rising tensions. As the global dynamics change, Serbia's ability to maintain its independence and strategic flexibility will be crucial in shaping the political landscape of the Balkans for years to come. This, together with ongoing global events, which we will continue to explore, has profound implications for the future of international relations. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Your engagement is extremely valuable for our growth. Until the next time, stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep exploring.